Ice can reaction. What's up, party people? Here we come once again. My name is Derek. That's my co-host Mike. Addiction and Recovery Talk, episode 32. Can you believe it?
Back up the bottom one. Look at our camera.
I ain't worried about that one because that's just in case that one.
Oh, that doesn't go to YouTube?
No.
Oh, okay. Cool. We still doing that?
Yeah, I still do it, but I'm more focused on what we do here.
We still got, bro.
It still goes on YouTube.
All right.
But I think most people come here to see it.
We do, but yeah, we got to go everywhere though, man.
Oh yeah, we do. We do.
This is, man.
Yeah.
Because I think we should be able to look at even getting on some other stuff like Rumble and Twitter and or X now.
Okay.
There's a lot of positive, good stuff going on those platforms as well. I mean, they've specifically stayed away from all the garbage.
Okay.
You know.
But
What? Go ahead.
no, I sent Mike.
Oh, yes. Back to our actual topic.
Yeah, we're talking about stuff we can talk about when this is over. I sent him. I saw this video, and it was about fentanyl, and it caught my attention because it says 70,000 people die each year from fentanyl, and they had specifically had a mother and a father on there who had a son who basically was like the kind of son I guess a lot of people would want. You know what I mean? He did very good. He was a star football player in high school. He ended up going to the University of Georgia. He was a freshman. He went there, and he came home for the weekends. Kid's doing good, and he went to a party. And just like, you know, we had talked about this before. Like my era, I was a teenager. I graduated high school in 1984. So in my era, a lot of people experimented with drugs. They might have did it for a time, stopped, or they got hooked like I did and then got clean later, or never got off drugs, whatever. But like, that was the era where you can experiment and it didn't really cost you your life. You know what I'm saying? So the gist of the story is this kid came home for the weekend. I think he wanted to buy a little cocaine, some weed, and I don't know, maybe some Xanax or something. And I think all of it was laced with fentanyl. So he told his parents he's going to be staying over at some friend's house, spending the night, blah, blah, blah. He didn't come home. He wasn't answering his phone. Parents got worried. They called, looking for him. They called their parents, you know, that he was staying at. They were like, oh, yeah, we're not home, but, you know, the door should be open. Just go, you know, because I think they didn't spend the night there. That's why the kids had a party. They weren't there either. And so the father goes over there. The door is open. He's not going to do nobody. You know, he goes in there, goes into the house, finds his son in one of the rooms, out. Tries to resuscitate him. Calls 911. The father's trying to perform CPR for a half an hour. That's just desperation, because I guess after a little while, you know this ain't working. You know what I'm saying? But that's his son. He ain't giving up. Paramedics come. They work on him for a long time too. And then he called his wife, and the wife said her husband was howling, like screaming, like this, you know, son's gone. You know, it's like devastated. So me and Mike want to talk about that. You know, like, it's just so sad, man. Like, and this guy, you know, like a lot of people, like I know in my era, we all were different. Some people use drugs more than others. You know what I mean? Some people wanted to be something, and they would do stuff on the weekends, and then like as they got older, they stopped doing drugs altogether, or they might smoke a little pot, or whatever the case may be. But like, it's like you can't even. These young kids don't have a chance, man. Like there's just too much danger out there, and it's like, I don't know, man. I never did opiates, so maybe you can take over on this.
We don't have to do opiates anymore to get fentanyl.
Oh, that's true. That's crazy.
As we just said in the story, he came home to buy coke and weed.
Right. He didn't even
got fentanyl.
That's true. He didn't buy no dope, or he didn't.
Nope.
Because Xanax is not even an opiate, right?
Xanax is a benzodiazepine. Will kill you. And actually, the withdrawal from benzodiazepines can kill you. Opiates, you'll want to die, but you won't. With the benzos, you can die. You can have seizures and die. Same with alcohol.
Right.
So, yeah, it's terrible. And it's everywhere now. They're putting it in everything. They're putting trace amounts of it in anything white, so that you can get addicted to that substance. And then you're going to start subconsciously wanting another drug.
So
you won't even know it. You will start wanting fentanyl. And you'll
so the purpose of putting fentanyl on other drugs is to to have them addicted.
Mm-hmm. So now the drug addict will actually be thinking, I'm addicted to this substance now. Now I'm addicted to coke. I'm physically craving the coke.
But it's not even the coke.
Yeah. And then they'll start to realize what it is, because that's the way your brain works. A human being smart. You're not stupid. You're not going to stay stupid forever. Your body's going to start craving the opiate. You're going to start to know. Your body and brain are smart like that. You will begin to know, and then you'll end up just doing the dope because you're already hooked. That's how it works. And don't everybody think, oh, I'll just stop then. Fuck, you won't. Once you get a taste of that withdrawal, your whole message will change. You will begin to do shit you never thought. It's like stuff we've talked about in previous weeks. Like guys coming downstairs to hang out while somebody has sex with their girlfriend upstairs for money. Or driving your girlfriend somewhere to have sex with another guy for drugs, knowing what she's doing. Like shit like that.
Or even selling themselves.
There's much worse stuff than what I just mentioned.
Yeah, because people get desperate. They do all kind of things.
And dirty shit happens where people do dirty shit. That's where people get robbed. That's where people get raped. People get killed. People get their throats slit.
Yeah, because you start going places to get it that you would not even be going. Because you got to go get that thing.
It's no game anymore.
Man.
Life is not a game. It's too short. Things are going fast. Life is flying by.
That's insane.
There's a weird shift going on in our world right now. Things are changing.
It's
Things
crazy.
are changing big time in this world.
Here I am. I got kids, right? They're grown. And I'm trying to get them to a place, right? To where they could be like more independent. And sometimes I get frustrated with them, and they're good kids. They're different than when I was that age, and I gotta, realize that sometimes.
Well, think about how different were you to your parents, even
That's
before
true.
you were fucking doing wild shit.
That's true.
Think about the music, and they're like, "What the fuck is this?"
Everything. That's true.
Everything.
That is true, because they were teenagers in the 50s.
Granted, I will say, if I look at even what I did with my parents, I'm sure what you did with your parents, I don't believe it's as radical as what these kids are doing today. It's not as life-threatening and mentally and physically damaging, the stuff that you're putting in your body food-wise. Everything, drug-wise, vaping, the shit you're doing to yourselves mentally, being on the phone and not having the human contact, and it's self-deprecating. I mean, you're constantly looking at yourself at a camera on the phone, picking out all of your little blemishes and everything. You're constantly judging yourself in a negative way. It's a proven fact that depression has gone up and anxiety immensely since people have gotten cameras on both sides of their phone. Since front side cameras have come out.
Really?
Depression and anxiety has gone up immensely. Because, everybody's always looking back at themselves, judging themselves. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me?
That's something that's interesting. That's crazy. So social media, I mean, it's good, but there's a bad side. There's a downside to it.
That's everything. I think the ancient
It's
Chinese
crazy.
really
I
got
post almost every day on social media.
Same here.
But actually me on social media, I'm like maybe 5 to 10 minutes a day.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because my daughter posts for me, so
that's my thing. I mean, I don't go on social media because I like it. I go on social media to promote my business,
Right.
and to promote positivity and good things.
Right. I don't sit on social media for a time
But
period.
it's like the ancient Chinese really got it right with the yin and the yang.
Mm.
There's a little bit of dark in the light. There's a little bit of light in the dark.
Mm.
And I promise you, if you find those little morsels of each, that's where your deep knowledge is. That's where your best lesson is. And you need to start viewing everything in life as a lesson. And you'll learn not to do shit that can get you killed real quick.
Mm.
Like buying coke that could possibly be laced with fentanyl.
Right.
You know, everything is a lesson in life. Good, bad, and ugly.
I used to go to New York City, right? In New York City, a lot of spots and buildings used to go to, you would like, I guess, knock on the door or whatever, and it would be like they would open in a little slot.
Yeah, like New Jack City.
And you'd be like, tell them what you want, and then you would give them the money, or I forgot who gave first, whatever, it doesn't matter. You give them the money, they give you the drug. So you didn't even like really interact with them. I drove from, I was living in the Asbury Park area, so you figure that's an hour drive to go somewhere to buy something, right? And it's illegal, but you don't even, but you know what's crazy? Back then, you went and bought what sometimes you would get beat, they would give you something. Not really in New York, though. They sold you what they had. You know what I mean? If I got beat, it was usually in Jersey. You know what I mean? New York, you would go there, and then you would get the drug, man. You didn't really, people overdosed and died, you know what I mean? But not like nowhere near.
All the garbage they're putting in at one.
Nowhere near like is happening today, man. Like,
between cut and fentanyl, yeah. And between as unhealthy as people are today, man. People are fucked up. This food they're eating is plastics. So I saw a gentleman poured hot copper on top of a McDonald's burger. The bread didn't melt.
hot copper?
Hot molten copper.
And the bread didn't melt?
The bread didn't melt.
So what's in the bread that's making it not melt?
Fuck if I know. Imagine what it does in your body.
Damn.
What are you all constipated? You all fucked up. Like, things aren't working right. Everything directly comes from there.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't eat fast food. I stopped eting that a long time ago. But you know what's crazy?
As you shouldn't.
It tastes good. Like,
Doesn't feel good.
No, it doesn't.
It does, but it's because it's designed to taste good. It's designed to make you addicted. There's a bunch of enzymes in there called natural flavors that are literally enzymes from animal liver. Actually, a beaver that are it's actually tasteless. And it's called natural flavors. It's a tasteless enzyme that just makes you addicted, just makes you want more. It makes your tongue just say, I want more of that.
You know what's funny? I remember the last time I had McDonald's. Went to New York. My aunt, went to her funeral. And my daughters, I drove up and I had them drive back. I'm in the back seat chilling. I said, you know what? Stop. Go to the McDonald's, go to the drive-thru. Went to the house, I ate it. And I was like fiending. I gave them money. I said, can you go back and get me some more? And I really did. That was the last time I had it. It was like, I wanted more.
It's because it woke up all those receptors that were awake when you were smoking crack.
And I hadn't had it in a long time.
You probably hadn't had crack in a long time either.
No, over 29 years.
Yeah. That had been what had made you, it probably woke up, it probably hit all those same receptors.
And that's crazy because that drug, that's what brought me to my knees. Because it's never enough. It's like back, more. You know what I used to do? I used to start getting crazy when I started running low.
Of course, yeah.
I didn't even run out yet.
Paranoid as shit. I used to be heavy, dude. I would do coke for days on end, so I know what coming down off speed feels like.
Oh my god,
it sucks. Peeking out the windows and shit.
I like this life that I live now.
Love it.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's like
love it. Even on the shitty days, it's way better than that.
Yeah, it's always tomorrow. Like today is a little cloudy, but the sun might come out tomorrow.
Hey, and at least I know no matter what happens, I'm not going to be dope sick.
See, let me tell you something. One thing about ex-addicts or recovering addicts, whatever you want to call us, we know how to find some gratitude because we come from like just being clean is a gift for us. You know what I mean?
I literally could have been dead. I should have been dead 3 times, man. I dug my own grave 3 fucking times.
Yeah.
The cops told me the next day I went back there to get my stuff. He said, I can't believe you're alive, let alone walking. I've never pumped so much Narcan in somebody and didn't see him come back to life.
Let me ask you this question. Do you feel, I know I feel this, that it's almost my duty to do the right thing and try to send out some type of positive message because of where I came from and what I've been through and what I put my family members through, especially my parents. I feel like it's a duty to try to be a productive member of society and have some type of message, like, you know what I mean, like
100.
positive. I mean, because let's face it, if we came on here and talked about like scandalous shit like the Diddy thing and whatever's trending, we will probably get more views and more attention, right? But I mean, going back to what we were talking about earlier, God, right? And I believe in God, and I want to thank God.
I'm here to spread goodness.
And so, like, I mean, he saved my life. And, you know, like you said, you could have died. Like, you should have been. You could have been dead. I ain't saying you should have been. No, you're not. You shouldn't have been, because if you.
Well, I was by a slim
You
chance.
could have been.
The dude
Like,
who saved
most
my
people-
life is dead.
Really?
The dude who saved my life is dead. I was here in this house. I was pathetically sleeping on an air mattress in my mother's living room. And I was selling weed. And a guy I went to high school with called me and was like, yo, man, can I come get something? I said, yeah. I left the door unlocked. I said, come to the back door and knock on it, because I'm laying down. I knew I was about to shoot up. So I knew I probably wouldn't be awake. So I did a big old shot like a dickhead, went out. He came in, tried to wake me up, said he shook me violently and I wouldn't wake up. I was just moaning and shit. Yo, this guy doesn't steal anything from me, takes his $20 worth of weed, leaves his $20, closes the door, and said, I knew you were going to die. I had to call 911. I'm sorry. He apologized. He said, I had called this man because I didn't know. I was like, somebody called 911. I called him for the last couple of weeks. He didn't answer. Finally, I got in touch with him. I said, why didn't you talk to me? He said, bro, I didn't know if you were mad at me or not. I said, bro, you saved my life, man.
Right.
He left. He called 911. He said, there's an overdose in this house. And then my brother actually came here. He wasn't living here.
Yeah.
Saw me face down on the floor, tried to wake me up. I wouldn't move. He said that I was still breathing, so he locked the doors and left me. And right after he left, the cops got here and kicked the door down and said if his sergeant, the cop told me, the one who said the shit that I told you earlier, that I couldn't believe I was walking in the Narcan thing, if my sergeant would have waited another 30 seconds, you'd be dead.
Now, your brother didn't call 911?
Nope. And Eric Hicks saved my life, and this man's dead.
Why didn't
now.
your brother call 911?
I don't fucking know, dude. He said I was still breathing. I don't
You said
know.
what?
Apparently, according to him, I was still breathing, face down in the mud.
So that was
Couldn't
good enough?
move, I guess. I guess.
Damn.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah. Well, that's not really a topic I want to visit here.
Right.
But
Yeah, I can understand.
you know, Eric called him, and that was great. And now Eric's dead. He overdosed on apparently crack. That's the story I got. I don't know. Apparently,
Was
he
it
had a
laced
heart
or
attack
something?
I
That
don't
could be
know.
it.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna have. I thought I was having a heart attack one time.
A young son. Left behind a son.
Yeah.
Wife.
Yeah. That's
and
crazy.
He was, you know, and I was just ashamed. It was after I got clean. I just wished he would have reached out to me, because after I got good, the guy who saved me, who I wouldn't even be here because of, died.
It's
You
crazy
know,
how
and
life is,
the
right?
other 2 times, I OD'd in front of my mother. She found me. My mom found me dead. She threw Narcan up my nose. She barely could get it up there. She was shaking so bad.
Scared to death.
Yeah. And she thought she missed, but the people said that's probably what saves my life again. And the 3rd time, I don't remember what happened.
Yeah. I thought I was having a heart attack one time. And I promised God,
But I'm
please
grateful on
help
that.
me. And if you get me through this, I will never get high again.
Yeah, but
I got high again.
To answer your question, what you were saying about, you know, am I grateful? It's funny that you asked that, because I had this conversation with a client this morning.
Okay.
We were working out, and we just stopped and we started chatting.
The one I saw you working out with? The lady?
No, this guy I come to actually.
Oh, I saw you walk
train
up to him, too.
kickboxing here. Actually, we do it here.
Okay.
Sunday mornings.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really tell him too much of my story. He doesn't know too much of my backstory, so I kind of got into it today. I'm very open about that. I want everybody to know where I came from and the amazing shit. When they see what I've done, I want them to know I've accomplished it in this short amount of time.
Yeah.
Because I want them to know them who've never had those issues can kick fucking ass at anything they attempt in a much shorter time than I did. So I was just telling him about how I feel like, yeah, I'm on my mission now. And because of all of the negativity that I put out, I feel like I owe it to myself, to my ancestors, that were anyone who sacrificed anything to keep me alive from childhood till now, and God at most.
Yeah.
I owe everything to everyone, so I need to be on this path every day.
Right.
Or else I don't feel like they'll have much use for me anymore on this planet.
How about that? So maybe we went through what we went through for a purpose. You know what I mean?
Certainly.
Because I know one thing.
I believe that.
When I was in rehab or anywhere where you had to sit down and listen to somebody, and if somebody came in and told me that they was an addict and they were hooked on coke or dope or whatever, my ears perked up and I listened, because I was like, okay, they know what it's like. They've been where I was or where I'm at. You know what I mean? Instead of like somebody coming in who's just talking, and they might have went to college and got a degree, but they didn't live on the streets. They didn't work on the streets. They didn't, go through that, that grind of, getting and finding ways to get more drugs, like robbing and stealing. I was in that life. You know what I'm saying? Worked, whatever. You know what I mean? Beat people, worrying about, repercussions, all that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Worrying about the cops. You know what I mean? Like it's just like a lot to worry about when you're out there using. Like, I was always driving dirty. You know that song, Riding Dirty? Remember that song?
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
I was always staring in the rearview mirror.
Dude, it took me 4 or 5 years after I got clean to stop doing that.
So damn paranoid.
Still, if I saw a cop, I'd be like, I'm like, damn, like I'm not doing nothing wrong. My papers is right. I don't got no drugs. I'm not high. But it took me like 4 or 5 years to stop looking in the rear view, because I was so used to. I had been doing it for so long. You know what I mean? Like this. I was doing dirt every day. Every day, either I was going to get some drugs, I had drugs, I was trying to go home to do them, or going back to get more. You know what I mean?
That's what happens.
Like.
And you got to understand that, everybody. You're not going to change bad habits right away. You took a real long time to build those bad habits. You can break them in a much shorter time, but it's not going to happen overnight.
Definitely not.
And if he would have focused on really trying to break that habit, he probably would have broke it much more swiftly than 5 years. But
it took me a while.
Shit happens, and if you're not focusing on certain things and concentrating on them, you're not going to get anywhere with them. That's another thing. Just in his statement that he made right there, those things you need to pull out. You really need to start to look and analyze when people are speaking to you, especially when it's somebody who you're listening to with purpose. Right? So understand that. You're not going to turn things around overnight.
Yeah.
Those things you want to turn around, you need to focus on. And that goes for anybody. That's not just recovery. That's anybody in life, anything in life. You need to focus your energy and your mind on what you want to do. Right. And you need to work on it. Yeah. And then things will change.
No doubt.
You need to focus that mind and put action behind it. And things will change. It's not complicated. There's no special secret.
Discipline.
You just got to get some discipline and work. And to be honest with you, people are so undisciplined today that if you're half disciplined, you're probably going to get ahead of 90% of people out there.
It's a payoff. You know what I mean?
You sacrifice, yes.
It's a payoff. I love it, man. Damn, bro. That fentanyl's something else, huh, man?
Sure, it's killing as many. It's like a Imagine a 747 jet crashing full of passengers every day. That's how many people are dying every
They
day.
said 70,000 a year. That's a lot of people, bro. That's a lot of people. That's like a small town or something, right? A small city or something. I don't know. That's a lot of people. 70,000? Like that's a lot of families.
That's a little bit. That's a
So-
little bit less than Camden right now.
So you
that's
figure-
a whole Camden.
Really? All right,
Camden's
70,000.
about 90,000.
So 70,000 people die. How many people does that affect? Because if one person dies, that usually affects about at least 5, maybe 10, maybe
At
even
least.
more.
If they got parents, they got grandparents,
They got siblings,
sisters,
cousins,
cousins,
friends. One person might affect. It depends on who they are.
the
It might-
entire town.
Yeah, for real. That's crazy.
It's not worth it, dude.
All these lives being affected, man. And it's like, for what? For what, man? That ain't even having no fun, man. I told you I go to Kensington twice a week, so I was there today for church. I do security there. Yo, dude, there was this
You look
dude.
like a zombie when you're
Dude,
on that shit.
oh
man.
my god! And the girls, people, everybody looks horrible. I was like, it was all this commotion out there. I was like, what's going on? And they were like, we have 2 guys posted outside,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, oh man, it was like it's just too much. I was like, what? Then one of you said there was this dude with a knife trying to stab people, because I saw an ambulance out there, saw these cops. I was just like, all right. I just walked back in. I didn't even, because it's always something stupid. It's always drama. It's always like, it's not normal. But then I was just
They're
like, damn.
completely insane.
I was like, we're in this church, right? And we're having a good time. Right outside is like mayhem. I was like, man, God's protecting us, man, because we're in the danger zone for real. How many people go to church, right, in America? They just go to church. They ain't worried about like what's outside. They ain't worried about, oh my God, I got to park and walk through all this madness.
Mm-hmm.
We have a parking ministry to help people park and get inside the church. That's how bad it is.
Bodyguards to walk you from the car to church. Bro,
They
that's
get-
the world we live in. Yo, everybody who's young out there, everybody who's young, old, that's the world we're living in. This is what everything has gotten us.
Mm.
Okay? All of the bullshit.
Mm.
Not just being logical and caring about others and focusing on what's important. Now we're focusing on all this other garbage and, look at what happens. Look at the world.
Yeah.
Everybody's focused on Palestine and Israel and this and that. Look at what's going on in our own backyard.
I mean, you got to clean up home first. That's how I look at it. If my house is messed up, I'm not going to be going over across the street and helping them clean up.
Because your family members are going to be the next. Because this shit's spreading.
You got to take care of home first. Then I can go out and next door and help them get their stuff together. But it's everything. So we should be taking care of people here. There's a lot of like madness, homelessness, drug addiction, just like, like people abusing people. You know what I mean? And then we want another thing I saw about Chicago, right? And how they got
More murders.
well, they're bringing in people from what's that country? I think
Haiti.
No, it's a Spanish
They're bringing in the
country.
Haitians.
No. I'm
The
talking about,
Venezuelans.
and they're
Taking over the fucking
they're
apartment
gangsters.
complex.
They're gangsters, right?
Yeah.
But so the government's giving them money, right? Giving them vouchers, and the people there
Thousands of dollars.
who are dependent upon the system are pissed off. So you got the black gangs, and how the black gangs are describing it. It says, like, let's just say baseball, the black gangs are basically saying we're like the minor leagues, and these Venezuelan people are like the major leagues, because the gangs over there, they, not saying that the gangs over here don't kill, but over there, killing is no problem. Like, they grow up in the war zone, so like
Because they don't go to jail.
They oh my God, they kill people like it's like I guess we would kill an ant.
Yeah.
So, you know what I
They don't
mean?
give a
So
fuck.
now it's getting to the point where it's just going to be a lot of bloodshed in those streets. And Chicago, I think, was like one of the top. I don't know if it's the top. I know it's one. I know it's one of the top murder places.
It is.
every year.
It's not. They don't get the murder capital because they have so many people, but they have more murders than any other city.
Yeah, and they got a lot of gangs, but now they're bringing in more gangs.
We have more.
They're bringing in major league gangs.
We have more murders than any other country in the world.
More jails, too.
If you took out New York, Chicago,
L.A.
Philadelphia, and LA, and there's one more city included in that,
Yeah.
we would be dropped down to like 89th.
Really?
Yeah.
That's like a lot of gang activity in all those places. Because I know they
Yeah.
call Philadelphia Philadelphia.
And that's where they're shipping a lot of the people that are coming over the border illegally as well. They're calling them sanctuary cities, but they're shipping the other countries' criminals
That's
to
becoming the
cities
problem.
like Chicago to become the major league criminals.
And then you start thinking about like.
But you get called a racist if you have a
Well,
problem
I was getting
with
ready to
that.
say something to that effect. Like, I never really follow politics too much, and I noticed a lot of people issue securing the border, and I was like, I never really thought too much of it. But now I'm like, damn, they need to really do that because they're not only are they bringing these people in, they're paying them, right? They're putting them on the system, and they're not even citizens.
But the other countries are giving us their criminals. They're dropping their criminals off at the border.
Well, why wouldn't they?
They're literally emptying their jails.
Would you be happy to do that? You know what I mean?
And the
And why-
Americans are fighting to allow it.
Dude, it's gonna backfire.
These idiots are fighting in the streets, protesting to allow it.
Oh man, you know why? Because they don't live in them cities where it's all happening.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. White liberals are some of the worst.
They're not living there.
White liberals have one
I mean,
of the
like,
worst mindsets.
if they
in the
was
world.
walking around here, let's say, they would have a problem with that.
Mhm.
You know what
Oh
I'm
no,
saying?
they'd be calling the police that they talked about defunding,
Yeah, well, funding.
and they'd be hoping that they had a gun that they were fighting the Second Amendment. About the Second Amendment they were fighting about. It's
I guess a lot of times people, when it don't affect them, it's just a cause to them. It's just something to feel good about, maybe.
It's a real pathetic way of looking at things, and that's kind of really very feminine, very childish way of looking at things, to just go, oh, let me follow a feeling, instead of just stepping back like a man
And dealing with
and
facts.
looking at the system logically and
Mhm.
saying, okay, here's what happens. Why was this rule put in place? Oh, okay. Here's why it was put in place.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. This was put in place to stop a government from becoming tyrannical. But now we actually have a tyrannical government who wants to take them away, but they want to be allowed to have the weapons, but nobody else is.
Right.
You just have to think.
And the way it was
Just
set up,
use your brain.
the way it was set up, the people were supposed to be able to overthrow the government if they felt the government wasn't doing what they're supposed to be doing. That's how it was set up in the beginning. That's why they are those rights in the beginning. But it's just crazy, man, because the government and powerful people have all the power, man. They just
They're really good at brainwashing these young people too.
conquer. They divide us, and they're using. Talk about it again. Social media.
Yeah.
They're using, I don't know, man. It's like it's getting worse, man. It's just getting worse and
Yeah.
worse and worse, man. It's like it's insanity.
There's a big separation going. There's a lot of people that I think, a lot of younger people that are really seeing the negativity in it and are really turning off about it,
Mhm.
like completely turning off from it. And then there's still the ones that
Well,
are
they gotta start
stuck in-
taking over because it's their generation. It's their time.
Yeah.
Like if you're in your 20s to like mid 30s, they're supposed to be taking over anyway. They're supposed to be stepping up. It's like that's how it goes, man. Like at some point, I took over from my parents, and then my kids are gonna take over from me. That's why I'm trying to, get with my kids, and I see slowly but surely my daughters stepping up, and I'm having these talks with them. Like I had a good talk with my oldest daughter maybe a week and a half ago, and it was a little heated, but it was almost like it needed to happen. Because you ever try to be polite because you just don't want no drama, and then you just can't take it no more. So then
Of course.
I get nasty when I get fed up. I get medieval, right?
Mhm.
So then it got to that, and then after a few days calmed down, and me and my daughter was having this discussion about stuff that's going on in our family, and then it got a little heated, and she was saying how she felt about things, and I was talking about how I felt about things, and then it got to the point where we both said what we had to say, and then it got to some understanding, and then it was like by the time it was over, it was like, oh man,
You know why?
I'm glad we had this. We needed this. I love you, Sheila. I love you too.
Because you were both finally honest with each
Yeah, I
other.
was like, man.
You stopped worrying about your feelings.
Yeah, I was
You were
like, look,
honest
nah,
with each
man.
other.
Like, no, like the bottom line is, I'm the father. I need a certain amount of respect, and I got to get it because
Well,
it's got to
that's
go down.
One thing, yeah. When you make someone, that's another thing. Second
And you're
off,
taking care of them.
And you're taking care of them. Second off, third, if you're running a household and you can pretty much handle anybody in that household, and they're looking to you to protect them, God forbid something happens in there, and you could literally smash every one of them with your hand if you
That's
wanted
me.
to. Then
guess
yeah,
what?
they need to respect you.
I mean, put it this way, my son is 28. He's nowhere near able to take me. I mean, he don't live with us, but I'm just saying, he can't. He'll probably never be able to take me. The only way he can take me is if I'm sick and I got something really, debilitating me.
Wheelchair and shit.
And I don't see that happening no time soon. He knows it. I know. Everybody knows it. You know what I mean? But we got honest, and it was heated for a minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she said some stuff, right? And I was like, no,
Yeah.
I ain't trying to hear that. It's wrong. And I pointed out, they didn't want to bring up some stuff that I said, like years ago. I don't even remember.
That's a female thing. That's what women do, man.
Like,
They bring
what?
up old shit that means
What year was
nothing
that?
now.
I was like, and something about, because I was a single parent,
Uh-huh.
and she said you acted like. Sometimes you acted like we were a burden. I was like, you weren't. I was like, I can't take care of you people. I says, I didn't sign up for this shit. I signed up to get married and me and your mother to take care of you, not me by myself. Like, so if I got aggravated sometime I said some stuff, guess what? So what? I did my job. I took care of you. Doesn't matter if I was skipping through the tulips and singing Happy Days every day. Some days I was pissed. You know what I mean? And that's just the way it is. My job was to do what I did. Take care of you. You had clothes, you had food,
Not to be
you
a
went to
fucking
school.
friend.
No, man, like if I said some stuff, called y'all lazy or did this, and there's a reason. I don't call people lazy if they're not. If I called you lazy, it's a good chance you are. I don't just make stuff up. I don't do that. You know what I mean? Especially when I'm busting my ass, I'm like, I rung rings around them because I'm just got that type of energy. So I like to see people, and when I was a kid, my father, man, he kicked my ass.
Fucked me up. I remember one day my dad, he caught me doing some shit. I don't even remember what it was. This motherfucker made me, he used to work right in that window. His desk was staring out of it. And he made me dig fucking holes with 3 pairs of sweatsuits on in the hot sun. He was watching the whole fucking time. I swear, bro, if I stopped for 5 seconds, he would come out here, bust out here like an animal yelling. You wanna know what I did?
What?
I waited till that motherfucker wasn't looking and I bolted.
Did you?
I ran the fuck away.
Damn.
Hell yeah. I wasn't doing that shit anymore.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But you know
but
what?
Dude,
I actually feel like growing up
man.
with the threat of that, I don't know. It seems like it builds character.
It stops you from doing dumb dickhead shit. Dude, as a kid, you're like a dumb little puppy. You're gonna try and do dumb shit.
I know if he told me to do something, it got done right away.
Yeah.
He didn't have to tell me twice.
You need that fear. Listen, that's a healthy fear of your father. You need that.
I mean, but guess what? When you grow up, you got to work for somebody,
Yeah.
and you need that job.
Yeah.
You're used to taking orders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You got to. You got to listen. You need to be. If you're not afraid of your father, your father's a pussy.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, we
And
got too soft.
and he's raising you to be soft.
We got
And
too soft.
You need to go to a combat sports gym.
Check this out.
Today.
I was talking to one of the ladies at the yoga place I go to, right? And she's a school teacher, and we were talking about water intake and this and that, and she says, she got to pick up her water intake, but she can't drink too much water while she's at work. I was like, why? She said, because I got to worry about going to the bathroom. I was like, can't go to the bathroom?
Yeah.
She's like, well, I try not to because if something happens while I'm going, I was like, what can happen? So she said one time she was walking to class to wherever they were going in the building, maybe, auditorium, whatever. So she was in in front of everybody. So you know how boys like to play games. They're 11 years old. So the one boy pulls the other boy's pants down. I guess his underwear was showing. So the other kid got real embarrassed, and he went home. He didn't tell the teacher. He didn't tell the principal. He went home and told his mom. Now, it just so happens that the lady knows my friend, and I guess emailed her. Like everybody emails. Like,
Emails instead of being
like fucking
coward.
Like, well, I think she did. Let me not just. I think she did, but they talked. Whatever happened, but I think she emailed her. Then they talked whatever, and she said, they talked about it, and I said to my friend, I said, how come the boy? How come he? I said he should have did two things: either just sucked it up. And just lived with it,
and
or punched the dude in the face, and they should have threw down right then and there.
Yeah, if you had such a
and
problem.
then the teacher
with it,
would have been like,
joke.
broke it up, sent it to the principal's office. The principal would have been like, what happened? So this fool pulled my pants down.
Yeah.
Embarrassed me in front of Susie, who I got a crush on.
If your bird is that small that you're that embarrassed by getting pantsed in school, then yeah, you should punch him.
I don't even think.
But if not, man, if you're hung like me, bro, you should fucking just be proud of it and keep walking, laugh with your homies and keep it moving.
On his defense, he's 11. You know what I'm saying? He's 11.
I know, I'm just, bro. But he's fucking around.
Okay,
listen,
but seriously though, he should have punched him in the face and had a fight.
Either punch him in the face or just laugh. Bro, guys laugh. Bro, if it's your homeboy's pants, you laugh, bro. That's fucking funny.
Yeah.
Seriously, yo.
But
what do you, if you can't laugh at something like that,
but
bro, your life's
came
gonna
down
be pretty
to,
rough.
and I said that to my friend, and she says, you know what, nowadays the kids are soft.
Yeah.
She said that because she's a teacher. She said she's around these kids. Like, dude, I was fighting all the time when I was in that age. Somebody said something to me, looked at me the wrong way. They just knew, don't mess with that guy unless you want to fight, because he ain't having it. He's coming at you.
Sure, well, I was playing
I would fight.
Hockey,
I would fight
wrestling.
in the auditorium, in the classroom. I didn't know ain't no after school. If somebody messing with me, it's going down right then and there, right there. And then they want to call my parents. But here's the thing they didn't know about my parents. My parents instructed me, if somebody messages you, go to work. And as long as you didn't start it, we're good. So I didn't start nothing, but I definitely like to finish.
Don't start nothing, won't be nothing.
So I had a pass. They gave me a pass.
Dude,
and
if
you know
my
what's funny?
Done that, I would have loved it.
I'll never forget. My mom looked at me one day, and her and my dad, were talking to me about this. And I said, yeah, they started it. That was like my national anthem. Yeah, he started it. And my mother smiled at me and said, damn, we might have a Joe Louis on our hands.
You know what mine was? Mine was, he said something about mom. He insulted my mom, and my dad would be like, oh, did he? Okay. Okay, then anybody says anything about your mother.
See, that's what I'm talking about. They had standards back then.
Had respect.
You know what I'm saying? Like
respect for my family name.
Certain things, you
defend your family's honor.
Like I don't know when it happened, but they started having like zero tolerance in school with violence. There should be tolerance. If somebody messes with you, you should be able to defend yourself. Like, what are you talking about? I'm supposed to let this dude smack me upside my head and not hit back and then go tell the teacher? No, that's not happening. And I told my kids the same thing. I don't care. We'll find another school. If somebody messes with you, go to work, and then I'll deal with it later. You know what I'm saying? That's wrong with this, man. This place is out of control, man. They want everybody to be sissies.
I'm hoping to have a kid one day and then go and beat the shit out of like their bully's dad or something one day.
Dude.
Like, just be like, oh, you're getting bullied, son? Okay, let's go take a ride. And just go.
Dude, I tell you what, I
fucking insane.
I was single parent.
I'm just
but I was all
daydreaming.
I was once I knew this was my situation, I dug in. I was like, all right, this is gonna be my life for the next however long, 10 years. I dug in. You know what I mean? I was dedicated. I was like, I'm a single dad. This is who I am.
Yo, you gotta be. Listen,
you know what I mean?
If a kid don't, my cousin said to me one time, he said, if you're a drug addict or you're a fuck up any type of way, and you have kids, and they don't get you to change, you're fucked. Ain't nothing gonna make it.
Well, luckily for me, I had 5 years clean when my first kid was born.
But even so, you still, like you said, you had to dig in.
I
and
did.
Become that man.
I did. 'Cause
You
it was like,
know,
what am I gonna do? Like
you
let them
still
down?
have to dig in and become something.
Because, like, you know, everybody says this. Kids don't ask to be born. I mean, because my daughter said that. We didn't ask to be born. I'm like, I didn't either. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Nobody asks to be born, but it is what it is. I'm in this situation. I got to bring the heat. I got to bring the noise. I got to make sure they eat. I got to make sure they got what they need. I'll make sure they got cheerleading. They get there, I pick them up, go to their games, show up. I used to show up, man, all dirty and jacked up from getting off work. I used to go straight to their, you know, whatever they were doing. And I used to love it when they ran track, man. I used to go there and I'd be hollering and screaming, recording it. You know,
On the camcorder.
Dude, no, because by that time,
Oh, you had a phone back then?
well, my kids, they're in their 20s, so that, like this is. I think I got my iPhone in 09 maybe.
Okay.
My first iPhone, yeah, I think it was 09. So by the time they started playing sports,
There you
like
go.
I was definitely recording.
You've got to lock in. When you see something you want, you've got to lock in life.
Yeah.
Or it's not going to happen.
When they were first born, I had a camcorder though. I remember that. I did. It was like, you're talking like 1999 and all that.
You want
Early
success,
2000s.
man. You've got to.
Man, it's all about what you want, man. You got problems, man. You on drugs. You got eating disorder. You got whatever it is, depression. You got to go find help and conquer it, man. Stop crying, man.
Dude.
Like we want to just like pamper people. No, it's not okay.
Real quick,
It's okay
yo.
to have problems, but it's not okay to wallow in it and let it destroy you, man. That's your fault. Get busy. What's that movie? Shawshank. Get busy living or get busy dying.
Yep.
What are you gonna do? We all got problems. We're all depressed.
And if you're having any of those issues, for real, Roundtable Wellness and Fit. This is exactly what we do.
You're depressed?
We
Go
help
for a
you
run.
change your life.
Go to the gym. Go sit in the sauna. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go do something. Go read a book. You know what I mean? Go try to be something. Get a job. If that's not enough money, get a second job. Like, make it happen, man. Figure something out. There's a lot of ways people make money on social media. They do this, influencers. Figure it out, man. Keep trying. If it don't work, try something else. You know, don't give up until you're dead. That's it. Then it's over. Then you ain't got to worry about nothing.
When shit's hard, too. Listen, too many people from this generation I see, too. Just giving up when shit gets hard. Too many young people. Listen, just as soon as you try something, if you didn't get it the first time, first once or twice, you're like, oh, it's hard. Let's try. No.
It's supposed to be hard.
It's fucking hard. Life's hard.
Yeah.
Anything that's worth it is hard.
Damn right.
All right? And like I'm saying, if you're having these issues and you don't know where to turn, Roundtable Wellness and Fit is your place to turn. Recovery Roundtable is the program. This is what we're here to do. We got guys like me and Derek that are going to come here and hold your hand and walk you through the process that's going to build you up back to be the man you want to be. And you don't have to need to be in recovery. You could be going through anything.
Yeah.
Anytime, if you want to take your life from one level to the next, reach out.
Yeah.
We're here and we want to help you.
That's right. You know, we keep what we have by giving it away, man. We're not selfish, man. We're grateful. We came from the gutter, you know, and what we did to go in the gutter was our fault, but it was our responsibility to do something about it and dig up out of it. And now that we're out, we want to reach back and help you up and show you it could be done. Because I know lately, a lot of people have been coming up to me asking me about different things, and they see what me and him are doing. It's not like we got a big following, but like it feels like weekly, at least 2 or 3 people come up to me, ask me questions about this, or they'll ask me questions about working out. Or this morning, this guy asked me how old I was, and I told him 58, and he was like, "What?" He was like, "Man, I ain't never." And I said, "Dude, I'm natural. I'm all natural." He's like, "I could tell, man." He's like, "I could tell." I says, "Dude, man," I says, "I want it, bro." He says, I says, "You know why I'm built like this?" He was like, "Why?" "Because I want to be," I told him. "That's why." And I put the work in. That's why. It doesn't happen by sitting on the couch watching Netflix. It doesn't happen by overeating, or falling into depression and staying. I'm not trying to bash you if you got those issues. I'm just saying get help for them and get working. Like, You know, we were hooked on heavy drugs, man, crack and heroin.
Trust, we got depression. Trust, we got depression.
Dude,
all right?
when you spend all your money on crack, right? Right, and you were supposed to pay bills and this and that. That's depressing.
Yeah,
Trust
we got
me.
depression, dude. All right,
You're really depressed,
and we still do. You think we fucking? I'm not Superman.
Nah,
How about you?
I'm really not.
You fucking have days where you wake up and you're just like, fuck, man, I don't really feel like being me today.
Yeah.
I know I do.
Yeah.
And you know what I do?
Do it.
I get right back to my fucking schedule, and usually as soon as I just get moving and start doing things, I forget about that shit.
Yeah.
I don't even remember it.
Yeah.
Because I'm busy doing things.
You know what happens a lot of times? Somebody will come up to you and say something and make you feel like, yeah, I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I came. I told that dude this morning, he made my day. And he said, no, you blessed me. I said, nah, you were a blessing to me. I said, and, you know, we exchanged numbers because it was like, and he started talking about this business opportunity he might be able to come to me with. I was like, you just never know, man. You never know, man. But you ready to wrap this up, Mike?
Yo, yeah, we love y'all, man. Thanks for everybody in the live. I see a lot of people in my live. Thank y'all. Appreciate you. If you ever have anything to say, if you ever have any questions, drop them in the comments.
If you got a family member,
DM, comment, let me know. I got you.
If you yourself, just DM us. I mean, he does what he does. I go to 12-step program. I've been going for 29 years, and I know a lot of people that have recovery houses. They can get you the detox, recovery houses, Oxford houses. Like, there's resources out there. I mean, you don't, and we do it together, man. There's a network of people that we like. I know many people I know, man, that are clean and been living successful lives and turn their lives around. I got a sponsee. I'm going to his meeting Tuesday. He's celebrating 21 years, man. He just celebrated yesterday, 21 years, and he's speaking for his anniversary this Tuesday. I'm going to be there front row, man, to cheer him on, man. 21 years, man. This dude was hooked on dope and crack, and now he's got a wife and 2 beautiful kids, man. He's kicking butt, man. And how many success stories that I know, people that I know, man, that I've seen turn it around. And then I see a lot. I don't even want to tell you how many people I know that died, especially when this opiate thing came. It was like people were dying 2, 3, 4 a week on Facebook, man. Then you forget about him. Then all of a sudden, a year later, it pops up. I'm like, oh, yes, I remember him. Damn, man, he's gone. So, like, hey, man, reach out. Don't have to do it alone, man. We're here, man. This is my man, Mike. I'm Derek. We'll be back next week. Saturday night next week.
Yeah, Saturday night. Fireside chat.
Fireside chat. Saturday night. Peace out. All right. I'm sorry.